Kevin Khelawan, the Chief Operating Officer for Teleios Systems. Yeah, Teleios started off as we call a pure play software company about 13, 14 years ago. So we'd have kind of gone through doing custom applications. Our first product that we did actually was a great failure. Nobody bought it. It was a good learning experience. Got a lot into website development and that kind of thing, SharePoint and whatnot. Today we really focus a lot on the mobile space. So a lot of what we do is provide a set of value-added mobile messaging services for the carriers. So a lot of the non-peer-to-peer SMS that you see happening kind of runs through our system. First thing we did was a pension administration system. The idea was that there were a lot of pension plans, but they were all administered manually, if administered at all. And so the solution was to help automate that process. People liked it a lot. They didn't like it enough to buy it. And I think the legislation and so on at the time did force people to have to really maintain the pension plans in particular kinds of ways. So we took about 2 years writing that. As a startup, we kind of left our jobs and did it. Kind of crazy. Not recommended for the faint of heart, but so it didn't succeed, but we learned a whole lot of stuff at that time. We learned about business things. We learned about the difference between somebody liking something and somebody actually making a business decision to on it. We also learned that generally, especially in those days, for us it has changed now, but in those days, the idea of local software wasn't well received. So as a matter of fact, we had many cases where people really liked what they saw. And then when they heard it was all written here in Trinidad, you could visibly see them back off and lose interest in those kinds of things. So that was actually one of the bigger challenges, that really trying to convince our own people here in Trinidad that we can do stuff as well. And that has always been a significant part of what Teleios has been about. Regionally, that's a big challenge for us, in that Caribbean people, and I could talk about Trinidad in particular, but Caribbean in general, we tend to value things that come from outside more than we value things that come from inside. And that's the case across the board, but particularly so in technology. So we consume a lot of technology. So you could talk to anybody in Trinidad about the latest technology, and they'll pull out their smartphones and their iPad 2 and their, laptops, dual core, i5s, and all those kinds of things. And everybody could talk about those things. But we don't have a production mentality. We don't produce the technology. We don't create the technology. We consume it, but we don't create it. And that's something that we really focused on shifting.